to another episode of Spiritual Superpowers. Today we are with a power couple, Ivan and Christine. Ivan is Rebel Star Tarot and Christine is Wisdom Within the Winds. So thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you for having us.
And
Thank you.
talking with us again. We wanted to have both of you on together because you are married and you both practice in like esoteric subjects, metaphysical, oracle cards, tarot cards, runes.
Yes.
And it will probably keep building as you follow your interests. And I'm so curious to know what that's like to be a couple and understand, how the universe can sometimes be there to teach us lessons. Timing is everything. Listening to your intuition. Because not a lot of people that I know of, I can't even think of one other couple who actually would be, I think, thinking very similarly. A lot of us who are into spirituality, a lot of times we're married or have partners that aren't.
Do something totally different.
Yes.
Yes.
Often very much in the logical world, very left brain. So I would love to know what it's like.
It's very exciting and it's very supportive. Like, we're always able to bounce ideas off of each other and share experiences, and we go through certain things, whether it's with the tarot cards, oracle cards, or connecting with crystals and whatnot. It's fun.
Because you actually went to metaphysical stores together.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you were getting back into oracle cards, is that right?
Yeah, so I would always sort of, I wouldn't say drag him with me, but he would always come with me. And again, he was just always supportive. I'd be like, okay, I want to go to this little magic shop, or I want to go to this crystal shop. He's like, okay, I'll come with you. And it just felt good to have that support. So even though at the time he may have not fully stepped into the interests of those things, that I could still sort of share it with him and just have that support and just know that I could be my true self. There wasn't any part of myself that I had to hide or like tuck away. It's like, this is who I am. Crystals, oracle cards, witchy things, this is me.
Yeah, because at the time I had my music project, I had my interests, and she was very supportive of that. So for her hobbies, it was like going to the mystic shop, I was supportive of that as well too at the time. So we each had our own interests, whatever keeps you happy, and we're able to bounce ideas off each other, whether it's social media promotion strategy, or because she's been doing this for a long time and I'm still new to it, so I could ask her why, I'm feeling this way, and she'll explain to me probably because, and it could be like a moon phase or some energy download thing, and she would explain to me, and I'll go, okay, and I'll go along with it. And then later on I'll start to see from other people posting about similar things, like, okay, I think that's why I'm going through this, and I'm learning terminology and new things along the way. And when we have our weekend morning coffees, we just bounce more ideas off each other and support each other too, like what's going right for the business, what's not going right, what we agree and disagree with, what we see on social media. So it's good to share that with somebody.
It's so cool that you can actually sit down and talk about that.
Yeah, we have so much fun doing. Like I said, we'll have coffee, we'll play vinyl. It's like we brainstorm, okay, well, we could do this for, our businesses and ideas about things. And yeah, it just feels good to have someone just to share it, and they understand where you're coming from and why we're doing what we're doing. And
Yeah, we're spiritual cheerleaders for each other.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
And we have that with each other, but it would be different to be a husband and wife like that.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Now, before you got into reading tarot, what was it like to be introduced to this world? Like, what do you remember how you viewed it at the time? Did you think it was just fun and games, a hobby, or did you think that there was something there but you didn't understand it?
I sensed there was something there. I just didn't know how massive it is and how many different avenues it could go down. Before, I thought it would be like a one subject interest, like astrology and energy, and then there was, she would talk about angel cards and angel spirits, and then you learn about like moon phases, and then like the witchcraft energy and that, and then there's numerology and then Kabbalah, and then it just keeps going on. It's like, wow, there's so much layers of this onion I'm peeling while I'm learning. I'm hearing about this stuff, and some things like jive with me and some things don't, but that's cool. I might eventually pick that up later on, but for the moment, right now, I'm comfortable with tarot and with runes, and she does her thing. So it's cool. She opened my eyes to a lot of stuff in the mystic world of things.
In fact, you bought Ivan his first card deck.
I did, because around the time, again, I mentioned that, he'd come with me when I go to like the magic shops and the crystal shops, and he'd always be kind of looking at the tarot cards, kind of picking them up and looking at them, and I knew he'd kind of mentioned he was a little curious, but he was still sort of had the music stuff going on. And I remember I was at a bookshop and he was about to go on vacation, but I saw this starter kit for tarot, and something was just saying, you need to buy this for him, because I knew he was going to be off, and that I knew he would probably dive into it a little bit and like look at the cards and whatnot. And so so I trust my vibe, and I bought the deck for him and I gave it to him, and I'm just like, you can use it or not, but I just said I felt guided to buy this for you and just pass it on.
What deck was it, by the way?
Charmin Caselli deck, and and it came with a layout of a initial spread and a nice book. It's not the little white books you get there that are very cryptic, and that there's a nice glossy cover book that explained everything, 2 to 3 pages per card, and it's very nice. And I think she knows my Pisces trap of when I take an interest in something, I put my full concentration in, and here's my money, and just like take it on completely.
Yeah, all in.
All in, exactly.
All in.
Yeah,
that's so cool. And you both have your individual practices, but you also come together and do a partnership reading.
We do.
And it's called
the Hermit
and the High Priestess.
Yes, the Hermit and the High Priestess.
Yeah.
And it was
awesome name.
It's an experiment, because she saw that I was doing Facebook Live free events. And after my third one, Christine wanted a bit of that. She wanted to get in on the action. So we said, well, let's try and do a partner, like a couple reading, and see how it goes. I go, you could do your oracle, I'll do my tarot, and let's see how our energies will connect into the message, because you're going to get 2 messages, 2 different sources, but hopefully with a collective answer at the end. So we did our first Facebook Live event as Hermit and the High Priestess.
And we winged it when we did it. We hadn't really practiced doing readings anybody together. We're like, let's just go for it.
You wanted to do like a pre-read in the night before, which we never did. So we just winged it. And I would have my workstation. I would do my cards first. So I would break the ice and start doing the reading first. And they'll give it while I'm telling the person on the camera what the cards are explaining. It gives a chance for Christine to get her messages and get her cards and write down certain notes, and then she'll say hers, and while she's explaining hers, I'm like, oh, that sounds similar to one of the cards I just talked about. So I'll get certain cards ready, and then we do a cross-examination back and forth for the person. And after we did that 2-hour live event, we're like, I think we're onto something. And we got such positive feedback from people thanking us, and they thought it was good to see, not just a man and a woman doing a reading, but a couple doing a reading together. And I said, okay, I think we could turn this into a business.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool, especially since it's tarot and oracle. They're similar, but they're different.
They are, yes.
Yeah,
But they do mesh together quite well. I can see how this would really work well.
Because in the end, it's just meant to give guidance and support.
Right.
It's interesting because with tarot, I'm working with certain foundations and guidelines, because there's divisions within the cards and classes. And oracle, you're open. It's a wild frontier.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing.
I like that.
I just love that you guys are a couple and you're doing it. I think it's unbelievable. And even like at your home, you actually both have your own rooms, your own sanctuaries, right?
She has her angel room, and I have my rebel room.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of curious, like, how did you two set your rooms up? Like, what do you do in your rooms? Like, is there anything? Do you have like the whole kit and caboodle, the crystals, the dream catchers, do you have the whole thing, or are you very kind of ritualistic and maybe seasonal? I'm just curious.
For myself, I have a lot of nature-based items, because again, I'm very, very connected to nature. To me, that's sort of my spirituality, which is the magic from Mother Earth. So I have a lot of nature, earth-based stuff, but then I have a ton of crystals. I have crystals that I use for myself. I have crystals that I use specifically for my readings only, crystals that I'll use for my Reiki only, and just ton of oracle cards. And I also have some almost like a nature kind of magic altar as well in my room.
Yeah.
Well, that leads me to another question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever do readings for each other?
It's been a while. I have done an oracle card reading for him, but that was a few years ago. Back when I was kind of getting into it again, I'm like, can I do a reading on you? He's like, okay.
Yeah, when I started out with tarot too, I wanted to try out the basic spread. So I think I've done 2 or 3 readings.
Yeah, you've done about 2 or 3 with me.
Yeah.
And did you find that okay?
I did, yeah.
good.
Like, I just, when he was doing it, I'm just like, he's got this. Like, he's
Okay.
got something. It's
Excellent. Because I know for me, I can't read close family and friends. I find it very challenging. So that's pretty cool. Because then you can always have each other's backs on so many different levels,
Yeah.
you know? And then you, even from an advice, if you go and talk to one another about something, you have, you know, the person being able to give you advice, but then they also could say, well, let me check my deck about that, you know, and have that outside perspective, a universal look on things. So, yeah, it's very different. And
very
so I
cool.
think you guys are very lucky for that.
I'm very grateful that, we have this and we have each other and we're both supportive.
Yeah. Not only are we supportive of each other's business, but even on social media, it's like, hey, I got this follow, and she'll check. Oh, did I get that follow from that same person? And we'll try and see if we get the same follows at the same time. Like, how come that person's not following me? They're following you. And so
Well, it
it's
took
like,
me a while to put 2 and 2 together. I think I was talking to one of you, and then you mentioned, I think, Christine, maybe I did.
Yeah, maybe I think it's Ivan. Yeah, maybe we're chatting with Ivan.
Yeah. Someone, one of you made a comment, and then I thanked you, and then you mentioned the other, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's perfect, because we follow both of you, but we just didn't know that you were both.
Yeah.
and business-wise too, our looks, our logos, and our presentations are completely different from each other. We don't have a similar look or feel to our separate businesses.
Business.
I think what we have is it lets us show off our independent side and our character. Each business is our character, but when we're together, the merging of that is what makes it special. You know, like a Reese's Pieces buttercup, you know, the chocolate and the
yes.
peanut butter.
Yes.
So separately,
great
separately
analogy.
it's good. Each ingredient is good, but together you got something wonderful going on.
And I think it's important
Yeah.
too that we still sort of have our own identities or businesses, because even from a spiritual growth standpoint, there's still different things that we're offering. Like, yes, we do, you know, the oracle card and the tarot card, but he's studying runes. You know, I do Reiki, and I'm also studying life coaching right now. So there's like different things that we still do on our own. Again, I think it's important just for spiritual growth and development that you continue to grow. So we have our own different things, but the fact we can bring them together when we want to.
Yeah. Oh, this is awesome. And you guys are going to do a little demo for us.
Yes.
Yes, we
Yeah,
are.
we get a little taste of the Hermit and High Priestess reading.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well,
All right.
let's
Let's
to
get
it.
set up.
Yes. All right.
So, if someone wants to get a reading with both of you combined, how do they do that?
She has a link on the wisdomwithinthewinds.com page.
Yep.
That link leads to my page for the booking and the payment process.
Okay.
And that on rebelstartarot.com. You go on the booking tab and you scroll down, and on the bottom you're going to see the Hermit and the High Priestess, and you click on it to book your session and do your payment. It's a PayPal payment.
Yep.
And it's a 45-minute session.
Yeah,
Excellent. And tell our viewers about the discount that you're offering.
And for those of you watching this video, we created a special discount code of $15 off our Hermit and the High Priest service when you use the code Spiritual Superpowers. All's one word. And
Isn't that
That's
awesome?
amazing.
yeah, just exclusively for you guys and for this video.
Yay.
Excellent.
Thank you so much. Definitely worth it. I bet you're all going to be scrolling down into the description box and clicking on that link, I'm sure, because as you saw, our minds are blown.
Kind of blown, both of us too.
Yeah, like I feel like the whole my world has been shook.
Me too.